What's going on, guys? I'm Jedi. So today we're gonna be looking at polls. So we know that the whole election thing has been going around pretty crazily, and everything's been going all over the place with the coronavirus and the Black Lives Matter movement, and pretty much everything just going chaotic. And we still have the elections, so we've been talking about that a little bit over the past couple months. And now we're kind of diving straight into the election, and it's coming up close. Although it's at November, so we still have 100 days left before things kind of start to get in a roll. So when we start talking about the election, we can't really predict what's going to happen. So we look at the polls, right? So there's been a lot of cool polls, and some of the main ones, the number one poll that a lot of people actually look at is actually 539 polls, and they did a study showing that most people actually look at these polls before voting, which is really ironic because you're technically voting from who you want to win, but people tend to look at these polls before voting, so this kind of skews them. So it's just like a huge mind game that it's actually you guys are playing with each other when you're actually looking at polls. And of course, I'm not saying that I'm not perfect, and I'm not saying that I'm perfect. So I definitely, of course, I look at polls too. So we're gonna be looking at what polls kind of do and why polls can be misleading, and what polls to look at, and how polls have played a role in the past election. And of course, we're going to bring it back to this year's election, and we're going to talk about exactly what's been going on. So as always, let's go. All right, so let's start off with number one, and number one is pretty basic, and it's just to talk about basically what's been going on with polls in the past. So of course we know that polls have been conducted in the past. This isn't something new, and usually in the past, like last election, President Trump was predicted to lose, and he won. The years before that, Obama was predicted to kind of come out on top a little bit. Mitt Romney was kind of predicted in a little bit, and the polls kind of went off and on. And usually polls can't really be completely accurate because they're not 100%. So usually, even the polls, they never go like 100% one person and 0% the other person. They always try to stay in the 50s because they don't want to be too off, and they don't want to get taken down too much. So of course, polls we can't trust 100%. And basically in the past, they haven't been doing great. Of course, there's been one or two that have been like on point, pinpoint, great polls. And those polls are actually showing President Trump coming out on top. So most of the polls are actually against him. They're saying that the Republican Party is not going to be able to be reelected this time. It will be the Democratic Party with Joe Biden. But President Trump is holding a really good race, and the stuff that he's been saying on social media, he's kind of bouncing back from most of the things, and he's actually able to kind of make a pretty good case for why he should be the candidate and why he should run. So it is looking a lot more like it's going to be the Republican victory, as the middle states are all kind of losing ground with Biden, and they're kind of leaning more Republican, because although President Trump has been like saying a lot of different, like a lot of things that people have not been really agreeing with him on most of the coronavirus and BLM matters, pretty much people are kind of coming back to the fact that he's the president. He's been doing a lot of pros also. It's not just cons. And of course, if you're in a Democratic state such as California, you're probably going to be thinking a Democratic way. And if we kind of step out of that, look at different states, then we kind of get a different idea. But this year, President Trump is kind of looking like he's kind of edging out a little bit, although he was kind of losing some of the momentum in the beginning. Right now, looking like he's probably going to peak out a little bit and take the win. But we never know until the day actually shows up. And when the day shows up, I will be here, and I will update you guys, and I will keep updating you guys every single day. And for you to get those updates and videos, you have to subscribe, turn on notifications, and like these videos and support me. And we will grow together, guys, and I will help you out with anything you should need. At Jedi on Instagram. Go ahead and DM me, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Other than that, guys, thanks so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow with another video. Bye.